What's up, YouTube? You want to learn how to change scenes in Unity using cool buttons like this? Well, I'm going to show you right now. Let's get started. Hey guys, Castlace here with Castlace Tech, helping to teach you how to build your game bigger, better, and of course, more fun. And here on this channel, I make easy to follow tutorial videos on how to create animations, add special effects, or add features like buttons, levels, bosses, enemies, and you name it to your Unity game, just like this video. I also make videos of me playing my Unity game where I add funny or crazy features like me fighting 100 Marios with just one character, just for your entertainment. So if you're new to this channel, consider subscribing. Alright, before we get started, let's download some free UI button sprites first. So here's a website to download some free assets. You could use some of these for your games, and if you scroll down here, this website also includes free game UI, and these are some of the packs that you could download and use these sprites for your buttons. And one of my favorites is using this one. So you could download any one of these to follow along, but right now I'm using this one, so go ahead and just download this one right now. Alright, so right after you download the free assets, go ahead and unzip the file and just look for the PNG folder, and it should contain this sprite right here. Drag and drop it and put it into Unity so that we can use this later, and we're going to be using some of these sprites for our buttons. Alright, with that said, now that we have the sprites, let's get started. So first, we're going to need two scenes, okay? So I created two dummy scenes already, so I have one called menu and one called level 1. And when you're changing scenes, you might have a menu, and you probably have a level battle scene. So you can name it whatever you want. I named it menu level 1. You can name it menu and fighting scene. It doesn't really matter because it'll still work either way. So let's go ahead and create a scene manager. So let's go here, right click, and create empty game object. I'm just going to call this scene manager. Oh, did I spell that correctly? There we go. Okay, so I'm going to go here and add a component to the scene manager. I'm going to new script, and I'm going to call this scene changer. Or you can name your script whatever you want. Add C# script, and go ahead and open this up. Okay, here we have our scene changer. And in order to change scenes in Unity, we're going to add something called using Unity engine.scene management. And this is what we're going to be accessing in this script to change scenes in Unity. So let's go ahead and go to our update function. And we're going to do if input.getKey.keyCode, and we'll just say any letter for now just to test this. We're going to say, let's just say D. So this is only to say, hey, if I press the D key, then use this, activate this function right here. So access the scene manager. So it's going to be scene manager dot load scene. So basically this is coming from scene management, and that's how, without this you will not be able to use this right here. So here you enter the scene name of the scene that you want to change to, or you enter in the index of that scene. So for now we're going to use scene name. So this is going to be a string that we're going to add right here. So we'll call this public string scene name, and that's got to add that there. And this is we're gonna be taking the scene name and we're gonna enter this name manually ourselves. So let's go back to Unity. So here I have my scene manager, and we just added a string. So let's just say the current scene right now is menu, right? I'm in this scene and I want to transition to level 1. So we're gonna enter the exact spelling of this. Make sure you spell this correctly or it will not work. So I usually just, let's go copy and paste the name right here onto it just to make sure you don't mess up. So now we're going to add these scenes into the build. So what we're going to do is click File, Build Settings, and then while inside the current scene, okay, so I'm in menu, click add scene. So now you see that this menu scene that I'm in is logged into this build setting. Okay, now go to level 1, your other scene. We're gonna save first. Now go into your other scene and do the same thing. Go to File, Build Settings, and Open Scene. So now that these two scenes are inside the build settings, you're gonna be able to transition between these scenes. So make sure these two scenes are here. And when I said when I said add an index, this scene menu has index 0. So in that load scene function, you can either put 0 or you can put the name of the scene to transition to the scene when you activate that scene management function. And for level 1, you put the index 1. But I like to use the names just to make it less confusing. And you could move these around, of course. So make sure so make sure they're at the right order. If you have the index, I actually just moved that first, so I'm going to move it back. Let's go back into our scene manager. So now that we have this here, let's go ahead and copy this object. Okay, copy the scene manager and go into the other level 1 scene and paste it. Make sure that the scene manager object is pasted in both scenes. Without this, then you will not be able to use this function correctly. So now that I'm in scene level 1, you don't want to leave this as level 1. You want to change this to menu. Now press enter. Okay, now that the scene manager is in, now let's test this out. Now press D, and there we go. That's how you're changing scenes using the function. So now we want to add some cool looking buttons, just to customize it. You don't want to be pressing keys to be changing scenes. That's kind of lame, so let's just add some buttons now. And right click, go to UI, and button right here. So click on button, and what happens is it creates this canvas and also creates an event system. You're going to need these, so do not delete any of these. So the canvas is what holds all the UI objects. So let's click on this and move this up here so they can see it in your game view. I'm just gonna center in the middle. So how are we gonna be able to make it so that when we click on this button, we're gonna be able to change scenes? Okay, so we're going to create a function called public void change level. And this function is going to take in a string, which is going to be the scene name. And so let's quickly save this, and we're gonna go do the same thing as what we did right here. So we're gonna call it scene manager dot load scene, and the parameter we're gonna be using is gonna be the same thing, scene name. There we go. So make sure this is right here. If you do not have this, you will not be able to access the value inside this function. So now that we have this function here, let's go back into Unity. Okay, so now click on your button and scroll down and see this on click. So basically this is where you're going to be adding an on click event. So click the plus and then find your scene manager. This is where the function change level is in. So go back to button, scroll down, and drag and drop your scene manager onto this non-object. And now that the button can access the script inside scene manager, so go to here and select the function. So we're gonna find our script called scene changer, and scroll down until you see your function. So here we have our change level function. So click on that, and this is where the parameters, the scene name we're gonna be entering. So right now we're in main menu scene. We're gonna go and put level 1. Enter. Okay. So now let's also go into level 1 and add this same thing into our level 1 scene. So go to level 1, right click, UI, button, go down here, plus, go to scene manager, go back here, sorry, and then drag and drop scene manager onto the object and find scene changer and change level and we're in the level 1 scene. Now we're gonna put menu. Okay, and don't forget to drag your button. If your button's not in the scene, it's somewhere down here, so just drag it up. So the canvas is a little bit different than the actual camera view. So the camera view of the scene is right here, and when you create a canvas, it becomes this enlarged space right here. So all the UI will be in here, and they're like 10 times larger than this view down here. So now that we have this here, let's go ahead and test it out. So I'm going to save and click play. So now that I click the button, I should change scenes, and there we go. Now that our buttons can change scenes for us. So now that we have our buttons, let's go ahead and customize the look of this. So I'm going to go back to menu, and let's go find the sprite that we just downloaded. So now here we have the button sprite. Okay, so when you downloaded this sprite from the website, it looks like this. So it's like one sprite sheet, and you're not able to kind of just peel off this sprite and just say, hey, I want to use this sprite out of this entire thing as the button, because Unity doesn't know that. So what we're gonna do is click on this, the sprite, and you see right here, make sure that this is Sprite 2D UI first, and you see how this says single mode, right? So click on it and click multiple, and then click Sprite Editor, and it'll say, would you like to apply? Yes, I do. And then it opens up this Sprite Editor. So now you're gonna go to slice and make sure this is automatic and click slice. And what Sprite Editor does is it locates all the individual sprites inside this sprite sheet, and it'll be like, hey, I think this is an individual sprite, so they're gonna automatically cut it out for you, and they'll do it for all these sprites right here. Then click apply, and there we go. So now close this, and now that when you go back to your sprite, if you click on it and click on this little arrow thing, now you see that all the sprite has been sliced up for you. So now we're able to just use any one of these single sprites as our buttons. So let's go to our button. So the button has this component called image, and this is where you get to put and customize your the button image yourself. So let's just pick, say, I want the red button. All right, we're gonna drag and drop it onto it, and now the button is red. So I'm going to make this a little bit larger here, and there's a text on the button, so you could open it up, go to text, and then I'm going to just change this to call it level 1. So this could be your level 1 button. I'm going to change the font, make it 30 so it's nice and large. Okay, I'm going to click save, and now I'm going to go do the same thing in the other scene. I'm going to go here, go my button, find my sprites, and I'm gonna make this, let's just say I wanted a blue button, make this larger. Okay, and I'm gonna change the text and call it menu, and make this 32, of course. There we go. Okay, now let's test it out. Click play. And now that I have this nice, good, cute looking button right here, I'm going to click on it, whoop, transition to the menu, and then going back to level 1, menu, level 1. And this is how you're going to be able to probably make a nice menu system, which you add your buttons, and then you could make it look whatever you want, and then have it transition to like the battle scene, or maybe settings, or customize it however you want. So anything could literally be placed on this button. So just for demonstration purposes, I have this like cool dragon sprite right here. So I'm just gonna watch. I'm gonna drag it onto the button, and now I have a cool dragon looking button, but the text it's looking a little bit weird, so I'm gonna delete that. And now this dragon is now a button. So let's watch. I'm gonna click play. If I click on this dragon, it changes scenes. So you can customize these however you want. As long as you have the sprite, you just drag it onto the button UI, and you can have it look however you want. Well, that's all I have for you guys for today. Don't forget to like and share this video if you enjoyed it. Also, comment down below if you think this tutorial was very helpful for you. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit that notification buttons for more videos like this in the future. Alright, that's it. See you later, guys.